Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, welcome. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is presenting Pet Psychic AMINAH. Our topic is caring for our planet. We have a choice. You may be saying to yourself, I don't understand. I thought we're talking about training pets. Not today, we're not. Today, we're talking about our planet. We all have a responsibility to take care of it. And Pet Psychic AMINAH is very passionate about this. She is a multi-dimensional person, and she is really so much in favor of providing education for us to understand what it is we can do and how we can do it now. So let me officially present her. Welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Nice to have you with us today.
No, I can't even say it's California and it's sunny day. No, it's pouring rain. Yay for us.
Oh, that's a change.
It has been. We have been raining for over, I think, 8 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
wow.
It's a lot. And the thing we all have to hold on to is that, yeah, it's annoying and you got to drive it and all that stuff. But we have needed this water. And we're talking about that today. We're talking about sustainability. We're talking about all of these important things and hugging and loving our pets and nature, that the plants need a drink, a really, really long, healthy drink, and that's what we're getting. So we wear a rain jacket if you go outside. You and I have perfect jobs. We just get to enjoy it from afar.
Absolutely. So Pet Psychic AMINAH, what I would love for you to share with our audience now is we have new people joining us all the time. So tell us a little bit about your work as a pet psychic trainer, speaker, etc., and then how that actually helps to funnel into your passion and love for this planet.
Absolutely. And thank you for the opportunity. I'm very, very blessed with my life trajectory and my experiences and things that were given to me as an opportunity. I am a fifth child, and my mother was a queen at making sure that we were in 4-H. If you don't know what that is, it's everything: public speaking, animals, working with the public and painting signs. And she actually orchestrated having 10 parks in our county put together. So having a safe place for children to play and to be. So this was my example. We lived in the high desert in Southern California, and it is a real, it's a real desert. But my parents bought this house with a giant, literally a 5-story giant pile of dirt, which on the other side of the road around the corner would have been a little mountain. And she created a garden. And I am heavily influenced by my parents and my exposure to all of this. So I've been publicly speaking. My first award-winning, thank God I got a ribbon for it, public speaking I was 9. So I come from easily speaking about what I'm passionate about. My mother also saw what her children were really great at. I have a sister who is an amazing seamstress and creator and teachers in my family. Well, mine was animals. Mine was all about being and seeing animals. I worked in my first wildlife sanctuary when I was 11. I have a picture of me in Sunset Magazine when I think I was 9 or 10 at the time, and I'm holding a great horned owl. So I'm very, very versed, and I have a college education to back up, and other wildlife sanctuaries I have worked in as an adult. All this together makes me very passionate about coexisting. And I'm still working on the mosquito, honestly. I always say, if you can tell me how to coexist with a mosquito, but in California, I don't have to do that very much. But also trying to coexist with humans, and us throwing our trash on the ground. For me, losing a napkin off a table is pretty catastrophic, because I know that maybe a paper napkin will biodegrade in time. But if I'm one person that loses one, what happens for the people who actually throw the gum wrapper out of their car, or throw their can soda, whatever, I'm done with it, they just throw it on the side of the road, somebody will get it. Who's somebody? We are all somebody. So we are looking at global warming. We're looking at loss of habitat. We're looking at animals that are dying in droves that will never come back. We haven't cloned them all. And we need that balance. One animal eats the trees. One eats the bugs. One burrows in the ground, which is great for flooding. What gophers, example, do. Some eat carnivores are eating meat. Some are herbivores and eating plants. All together, remember, all together, we manage nature together. But without one species, without one season in the year, not one season is more precious than the other. You might have your favorite, and that's great. But they're all super, super, super important. That's how we coexist, is understanding that first.
Thank you so much. You shared so much value just right then, as you always do. So you mentioned about picking up trash and literally following behind people who are littering. What are some other things that we can do right now in our own homes, or in our own neighborhoods, our own communities? What can we do to start caring for our planet?
Do a number of things, and I'm a really big fan of giving multiple choices, because I don't live your life. I don't live your existence, or what state or country or abilities you have. I had a very wonderful experience, a young woman in a full wheelchair and had a mouthpiece, everything. She couldn't move anything. And I got a chance to stay with her for a while. And it was scary and it was exciting. And she was super smart, but she couldn't move her neck, her hands, or arms. She was a quadriplegic throughout, and I stayed at her home and had the girls sleep over. So you learn from this. What I want you to take from that example is try it. You might say, well, I don't want to go to the shelter and pick up poop. That's not my thing. Okay, it might be somebody else's, but you'll find something that makes you want to try or learn better, or learn more, or become involved. My ask is, get out and try. There are so many. If you are over the age of 18, and I guess under the age of 90, somewhere in there, you can do things like go volunteer at the shelter. And that's only for the younger ones. It's all ages for the shelter. They want people that will, there's such an amazing program. They have children actually reading books to the animals. And you go, wait a minute, what value is that? Well, first, these young children are learning to read. And that is a vital skill for the rest of their lives. Having struggled to read when I was young, I completely understand. I couldn't read a book for my life for years. And I don't even know how embarrassing it would be. Say I probably was 10 or 11 before I was really fluent. And that's because my uncle gave me a book and I got really hooked on the series. So whatever it is, children coming in and reading to pets, that pets get some attention, and they're not in the cage with the animals. They're outside the cage so that the children are safe, and a staff member doesn't have to take their time to stay there the whole time they're within the block of animals, and there's usually a lot of kids. And the animals love the attention. They love it, and the kids are learning to read. You can do something as simple as that. You can see a can on the ground and pick it up. If you're worried about germs, or you're worried about where you're going to put it, it's so easy to have a plastic grocery bag just all bundled up in your backpack or your pocket or something, and then just use it to carry those types of things. You can do that on a walk. You can do that with friends, or you can ask your mom and dad to see if you could get a case where you put soil in and seeds. And you can do that from the dollar store. So you can get the trays, and we're coming up to the season where they're going to have these things. But I don't want you to look at it as, oh, it's too expensive or it's too not. Anything can be done when you're motivated. Anything can be tried if you're motivated. Now, Dr. Jacalyn, did I miss your question altogether? Because I don't feel like I go too far. I start off on a good point, and then there's so much to tell. Sorry.
No, I asked you to give some tips about what we can do to care for our planet, and you definitely did. So
Great.
one question that's come up numerous times, we've actually had this conversation on other shows that we have, is about recycling. And are things really recycled, or do they end up in a landfill with the waste, the compost?
Well,
what is your thought on that?
I want to live in a positive world. That's me. That's me. I'm a cup half full. We all have this. Some people are a cup hasn't seen the water, and all in between them. That's not a thing, but I like calling it that. We can all get to that happy place. You might find that you love picking up trash because you feel like you're really doing something for the earth. Great. That's not my thing. And yet I pick up all kinds of trash. My daughter's like, what are you talking about? You pick up all kinds of trash. Yeah, because I can't leave it. Because I know some bird's going to choke on it, some dog's going to poop on it, just something like that. The only thing I don't pick up is dog waste, because I'm not prepared. I don't have a glove, or I don't have a paper towel. And what I want people to know is it's not biodegradable. Okay, did you all hear me? Your dog going to the bathroom in public, in anywhere that's not your yard, or you're not immediately picking it up, does not biodegrade unless you're feeding them raw food. And I still don't want you to poop them anywhere, because these are truly not going to go into the soil, because again, it's not organic. Something that the soil can use. Why is it okay for a mountain lion or a leopard or a bird or whatever's native in your area? For example, this is a very strange example. I'm really hesitating if I want to use it, but it's true. So I'll go with truth. If you have a stray pet, you let him go, he's out there, I would have to say there's no upswing to that and the life they should have. But if they're eating wild, which they most likely are, rats, mice, whatever, that's another conversation also. They're also decimating those populations. Cat specific, they're decimating the bird population. Is because we have too many people letting their cats run around wild, homeless, whatever it is. Cats running outside create a bird issue. And that means they're eating way too many for the population to recover. So we will continue losing native birds unless people keep their cats in. That's a thing. So what you don't want to do is, of course, have feces on the ground. I can't tell you how many people I see walk their dogs in our neighborhood, because we have some really nice hills, mountains, and sidewalks. And they just poop and they walk away. And yes, I do say something if I'm in the area and I get the look and all that. It's like, but I just go with, I don't think they know that poop is going to be there in 3 months, 6 months. Even with the rain, it'll flatten it or do something. Somebody will step on it and they'll hate you forever, even if they don't know who you are. But what I ask is, it's not only the same as throwing trash on the ground and leaving it. It is almost worse, because that feces doesn't biodegrade. The paper might, with time, the poop might wash away, but it's no benefit. Neither is the trash to the ground, to the native area. It's so simple. If you can't afford little doggy bags, I have a relative, and she carries a roll of them, puts them in her pocket, walks with them, always picks up. But for me, I keep the bread bag for the cat litter that I pick up. My daughter buys bags, and they're biodegradable. For me, I already have a bread bag that's not going to get recycled. That I'm just going to add to the trash. So I'm going to take the poop that's also not going to get recycled. And at least I have, in my mind, eliminated one extra thing. Throw the bag away and throw the cat poop away. And they're two different things. And now they're just one problem, hopefully. It's a start. And that's all I'm asking you to do. Think about it. There's a place you can start, even with if it's a gum wrapper. It all matters.
Yeah, it sure does. Yesterday I was out for a walk and I saw a man walking his dog, and the dog went to the bathroom and the man did not pick it up.
Ugh.
And I was, maybe 20 feet behind, and I thought, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't have a bag, or like, it's hard. You don't know what to do because you don't want to have a confrontation with someone, but yet at the same time, you're watching something go on. What would you have done in that case?
I, just like you, and for us women, it can be a whole different safety issue. So I would take into account the breed of the dog, the behavior of the animal and the dog and the human. And I'm really lucky because I can read not only body language, but their energy and the psychic part. It's just who I am. So I can also see if their energy is in a more receptacle mode. But you and I both know, if this guy's leaving poop, that's probably a go-to all the time. So he probably gets called out once in a while. So I have to go in knowing, you and I have to go in knowing, whoever tries this, that they might be confrontational just because they're always doing this and they get called on it once in a while. I would start, if I had the equipment, meaning if I had a bag, I usually carry Kleenex. I have a lot of allergies, so I usually carry a lot of Kleenex. And if it's a long walk, I carry a lot of Kleenex. So I would offer him something like, hey, I've got a bag. Here's a bag. And I've actually seen people say, not only to a friend of mine, but to me, what am I supposed to do with that? I'm like, okay, this is how this conversation is going to go. Well, your dog's poop, I don't know if you know, is not biodegradable. It's going to be there forever and it'll kill the plants. And somebody might walk on it. Thought you might need a bag. All we can do is stay as neutral as possible. Don't be judgmental. If you're going to be judgmental, you're going to ask for a confrontation, because this person already knows this is a problem. They're not in a cave, living where the news doesn't say, there's poop on the sidewalk, and they've probably done this. They can say everything from, oh, I'm going to go home and get one. It's like, great, I'll wait here so nobody steps in it until you come back. And then they're like, whoa, ooh, didn't see that one coming. So
that's a good one.
I know. and you think about it afterwards, because I've had this happen. That's why I now think of these things, because I'm like, oh, I could have come back with that one. Because what answer do you have? okay, I'll be right back. And they don't come back, whatever. But they're so shocked that all I want to do is grow that kernel, because every plant comes from a little bitty seed, and a lot of rain. So we're going to be the rain, guys. We're going to be the rain. And he might not have thought about the bag, but maybe he's like, oh man. And if you're in my personal private neighborhood, then you're probably going to walk in or buy the same dog people and
Right.
poopy people and all of that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
And so they're going to know you might be out there.
I don't want to see her again.
Because, man, she's going to be watching me. And some people, of course, don't care. And that's a whole different person. And I want you to please be safe. Please be safe. Yes, we want to save the world, and it takes one of us at a time, and then all of us together. But this is not an advocacy of get into an argument, get into, a three-ring circus of blah, 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 whatever. Say what you feel you can say. Share a bag with them, a Kleenex with them. For me, I could pick up a whole thing of dog food because I carry so much Kleenex. Any of those simple, non-judgmental. You're assuming that they just got out of the house without the dog poop bag. It happens. We're all human. It happens. So what do? Maybe you just offered them one. I know for me, I have offered, I don't know, 100 Kleenexes to people over the last 20 years, probably more, because I carry them and they're folded and they're in my pocket. So I've never carried the little pack. I've always just grabbed one out of the Kleenex box when I'm ready to leave. If I'm going to be gone a long time, then I'm going to grab a whole bunch that are folded, and that's great. So these are things that you're getting for, like for me, my allergies, or wherever you're going to walk. You brought a water bottle. I want you to start thinking about maybe carrying something that you can help people with bags, because they come in these great little rolls. You can get them at the dollar store. You can get them all over the place and share. If you're like me, I'm just had this done out of my own conversation. I need to do that, Declan. I haven't done that. I haven't carried a bag. It's a teeny roll, and there's like 50 of them on this little teeny roll. They're like a big lipstick type thing. And that would be so easy for me to carry. Donalite, hello, thank you. Because I've always carried Kleenex, and I don't see a lot of people, but for me, one person's too many. One person's too many. And how easy would that be just to carry them with me? I've seen people, they have bags that hang off purses, hang off strollers. It's so neat. I love it when I'm seeing a mom, dad walking their kid in the stroller and or outside that. And then the dogs, just trotting along, having a great time with the family. And they have the bag thing hanging off the stroller. That's a family outing. That's a family outing. It would be the same as you and I not taking water on a hike. It's like, duh, you're trying to die out there.
Yeah, I did have a comment about what to put the dog waste in. In the community where I live, they have these little stations where you can, and the bags are a thick brown plastic. So I'm thinking, I don't know, seems to be defeating the purpose, because we don't want to use plastic, but yet the bags are plastic. So what could you actually put the waste in if not plastic?
Paper. The paper bags they come out now are pretty heavy duty, and you can get them pretty heavy duty. But let me caution you, 99% of the bags that I see sold today are biodegradable plastic. Did you know that? Everybody needs to know that. If you look at the bags that you're going to go to any pet store, any vet supply, anything like that, I challenge you, even the dollar store might have them. is you'll see a symbol and or words on it says biodegradable. Almost all of them, because of that exact problem, Dr. Jackalyn, that exact problem. We're taking the poop that won't biodegrade and we're going to pick it up with plastic and add it to the landfill, which is better, which is 100 times better, 100 times better than let's all step in it, sit in it, slide in it. I don't know if you, but I've slid in the poop. I didn't see it. Off I went. I didn't land on my butt, but it was bad. It was bad. It was all over my shoe. I was ready to carry
something
on
that you don't forget. Yeah.
It's
something else that we can talk about, and you alluded to this several times already, but we had a show on it. Roland Friedel did it, is about whatever space you live in, whether it's a city or you live in a very small space, you can buy seeds, as you mentioned. You can actually grow your own vegetables on I don't know what it's called, but it goes straight up and you can start planting things. You can put lights in it. It can be like a decorative display in your home, and you can also eat from it. Can you talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, they are coming now in so many sizes, so many colors. Believe it or not, colors. They're not just doing black or white. People are really, it's so exciting to be the backyard, or like with my condo, we have a balcony, we have a patio out front before our front door. And someday I'm gonna send you the picture and you'll have it to pull up for everybody. But every one of my stairs has a plant because that's all I can do in this place. But everything is becoming biodegradable. We are getting better pots that are not cardboard. We started out with a lot of cardboard plants, and you could just plant them in. You pull some holes in it if you wanted it to be part of the soil. So it was the pot now, and then you could transplant it. That's what growers are doing now. They're doing recyclable pots, and all you do is pull some holes in it or just in the bottom, and they plant the whole thing. No more dirt out, any of this. So there are so many ways now for you to be a part of the positive circle instead of against it. So did I even get close to answering your question? Because I got off on it.
You did. Yep. Yeah, you did.
Everything is changing so quickly because, and I don't mean this derogatory at all. It's a fact, because not enough people are interested in going, oh, well, but if I bury the bag full of the dog poop, the bag, then nothing biodegrades. They're not thinking that far. We're just thrilled that they're picking up poop. So baby steps. For those of us who are in the industry and who are pro biodegradable, proactive, and are going to pick up all our animal poop no matter what, that isn't an issue for us. So what we are trying to do is make it easy, make it possible for anybody. If you're handicapped, mentally or physically, if you just don't like to, or you just need as much assistance possible. If we make it fun, and if we make it simple, guess what? We gain fans. We want fans. We want animal life fans, that we just make it so simple. And then as the world evolves, as we have gone into organic food, I'm going to use this as an example. I don't know if you do much in organic food. I don't think we've ever had that conversation, but we do in our house. And when it started, whatever 15, 20, 30 years ago, organic food was around, but it wasn't talked about until probably the 80s, really, really a lot. It was super expensive. It was super expensive. And everybody's like, no, I can't afford that. I'm a college student, I'm a mom, I'm a dad. I can't afford that. So what did it happen? More people got involved. More technology stepped in or went away, and it was seed in dirt in ground. And now you can find organic products at the dollar store. So it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere, because so many people got on to that trend, and so many of us will not go back. We haven't figured out a way to do it with everything. We still need dead dinosaurs to run our cars, even though we actually have an electric car. And the electric car we have currently actually charges its battery as we drive. So, because we don't have the means, we don't park our car in the garage, so we don't have the means to charge it like our first one. This is our second. So does that give you some kind of tips of where you can start anywhere? If it's poop bags, if it's low dust sand with the top on, I know for me, I like cleaning the cat box because we don't wear shoes in our house. Why would I want those paws on carpet if we don't wear shoes from outside? So for me, it's cleaning those feces up. And my daughter buys biodegradable, litter bags. So I know it's going to at least go to a landfill, but it's going to process. It's going to process that. And we do feed a lot of organic dry food and we don't do wet food. That's just a choice with our pets. And each of us needs to make that decision, hopefully with your vet. If you're healthy, animal's healthy, great. Let's all keep them that way.
Wonderful tips as usual. I'm also thinking that people might be interested in wondering about walking places, maybe saving gasoline, and
That'd be neat.
yeah,
And the communities, especially the municipalities in large, we're talking about this county, this county, this county, this county, making hiking trails throughout that connect. Because you know what they're finding? Resources are shared. Resources are shared, not just the work to put something like that in, but you've got county parks, you've got city parks, and you've got state parks. Why not have a city park go to a state park, go to a municipality park, and you get to keep walking? And I'll tell you, here in this state, that's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we do. We had some wildfires in the Redwood area, which is very far north. And the redwoods are breathtakingly old, giant trees. And you can, in some areas, literally go from a city park with swings and slides and probably a bathroom there and all that, and then go to bigger and bigger and bigger, literally just walking and enjoying the redwoods or whatever part of lovely scenery they have, and hiking and up and down. You can see these in the deserts. So many times the cities will come up with like a small children's park, but then have trails that lead into more dense and more places. What I love is the fact that everybody's working together. All of those governing agencies that are out there and all their rules and regulations that need to be followed, but they're all starting to really participate in coexisting together as a business, as what does this help everybody? And that I know in our city, we struggle with something that I think every single city, especially the big ones, and San Jose is a pretty big city, is the homeless community. And trying not to separate them from the ones that do have pets, but getting them the resources and the mental health issues that they need. And I was out yesterday, and there's 2 really large camps where I was going, and I see them all the time because it's a trail I have to take quite a bit for this direction. And I noticed they had cleared it again. So my heart bleeds for the people who needed to have that space, but also wondering where they went, and hopefully they got resources, and hopefully they got some mental health issues and medicine and whatever they need. Our animals are no different. So many of us have chosen pets over having human children. And that's okay. So let's treat them like they have the same types of rights, even if you do or don't. But wouldn't you want to feed them healthy? Know what color, number 23, whatever. So many animals have allergies now. And it's the same with people. Get a good vet. Don't like that one. Ask people who they're using. Get a referral. There are so many professionals to choose from. There's never a reason, I hope. I understand people live in really rural places, but hopefully you're not stuck or feel like you're stuck with only that one doctor. Because you should feel heard, loved, and your animal getting the best care that both you and the doctor can provide. And some of that's why we're doing this show. So I can give you as many free tips as possible so you too can enjoy your time with your pet, picking up after them, making sure they wear a sweater if they have no fur, whatever that is, trimming their nails. It's really, really important. I've actually seen, Dr. Jacalyn, an animal that had their nails embedded.
Or wasn't caring for them?
Yeah, it was an elderly lady. She was basically living alone. Her family hadn't kept up with checking on her as much as they checked on her. Hi, Mom, how are you doing? But not going there. And then realizing the cat's nails never got trimmed. She wasn't capable of it. So that's when social services, everybody got on board. They realized, oh, she's getting food, but nobody to prepare it. She's getting a house cleaner once a 6 months, but nobody who's checking, or the housekeeper didn't share it with anybody else. She was hired for the day. And some people feel that's an invasion of privacy.
Right.
So I don't want to say, oh, no, you have to tell. No, you realize there's culture. There's your personality. There's a whole host of reasons why we do or don't do something. If you don't understand a culture, you cannot jump in and say, oh, well, it's wrong no matter what. Well, maybe the answer to the end of what you need to do is you got to get it fixed. But what you haven't figured out is what's the best modality for this family. And that's the same with pets. It's the same with pets. You need to realize they have a personality. They have the desire to love, to be upset with you, to play with you. We love, one of my family members does this, goes, just randomly. And Dr. Jacalyn, have you any idea what the benefit of doing that is?
Expressing I have no idea. No. Expressing yourself.
No, that would be really annoying. I have to move out. No, it is actually what we did when they were little. Now, all our animals are much older now. They're all above 5 years old, so way into adulthood and beyond. But at some point, there's going to be a firecracker 4th of July, or there's going to be a fire engine that goes by. There's going to be somebody, or we're going to really laugh at the TV or go, oh, or something, make this sound. We want to make our animals bulletproof, basically, to say you can handle a lot of sounds. And what they're going to do, which they all do, is they look, what the heck is wrong with you? And then they come back and say, okay, nothing. You're just doing that weird sound thing again. But we expose them from the time we adopt them to these really fun, wonderful things, because at some point they're going to hear when it's a dire need. Somebody out there is going to say, well, wait a minute, what do you do when there's a fire, a flood, and you need them to respond? Especially with animals, they're going to know the difference. Your energy changes, the timbre in your voice change, the urgency changes, but what's really great is we have their attention. Because every time we do it, they look at us like, do I care about this? Tell me if I care about this. And then luckily they evaluate it in a lickety-split moment. And we go, nope, just having fun with you. But we also want to women handle their feet. And you know why? Got to clip those nails.
Clip those nails.
Yeah, exactly. Yours are beautiful. And I see people do this to dogs, and that's fine. But just know they're not for everybody. They're not for everybody. And when you handle your animal with love, patience, your animal is going to be the one who gets out with you when there's a fire. Because animals understand what the smoke smells like, even if they've never been experienced to it. I don't care how many foods you burn in your kitchen. That is a whole different experience. The height of everybody, the concern, the fire, if you see the flame, but the smoke specifically, it's bad. I have been in, sadly, a couple of house fires, and it's really, really bad. So you need to make sure your animals respond to those things, but also not a screaming baby that you have nothing to do with. Or maybe it's your screaming baby, and your cat will understand, oh, wait a minute, our baby needs something. And your cats and dogs will respond as our baby because it's another part of the family. So that's the things I really, really want you to take home today. Thanks.
Thank you. This was not only educational, but it was entertaining as well. So thank you
Well,
for
I think
that.
if you laugh a little, you remember more.
Yeah, that's a great way to learn for sure.
Absolutely.
Amina, we have your information, but for people who are listening on a platform and can't read it, how can people connect with you?
I try to make it really simple. I am bridging worlds. Ours, yours, everybody. So BRIDGWORLDS.US. Again, bridgingworlds.us. Join me on Facebook. Join me on LinkedIn. I'm funny, and I love you to learn that way, because I think with a laugh and a smile, maybe a tear here and there for some of the stories, I'm going to educate you and answer your questions. I love getting questions, so feel free to always drop me a question. And of course, you can hire me to help you with your pets anywhere in the world. That's what YouTube's for.
Wonderful. Thank you again. And thank you for taking the time on this special broadcast on a special day.
Love it.
And I actually enjoyed this as well as on a Friday. So I hope you did too.
I don't just show up on Fridays. I know how to talk all week long.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. And
Thank
don't you know, you look stunning, by the way. I love that color on you. It's absolutely beautiful.
It goes with the background.
Yay!
So, well, thank you, Amina. Thank you, everybody watching or listening. Please do join us again next week at the regularly scheduled time, which is Fridays at noon PST, at 2 p.m. CST, 3 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. GMT, and 9 p.m. CET.
Oh my God, you get a degree for that? Because I know you're looking up, you're not reading a board. It's
I'm
like,
just thinking it's in my head.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So whatever time zone you're on, just come to Dr. Jacalyn's channel and look at all the millions of things to really, really watch. They're wonderful. That's what I do. I'm cooking or cleaning, got the channel on.
Go to USA Global TV and Radio on YouTube. We also have Dr. JACALYN KERBECK on YouTube, but I don't do any maintenance on that, but we're streaming there right now, actually. So
wonderful.
2 channels. So, all right. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks, Amina. Bye for now. Bye.